Okay, good morning. So in the last lecture, we discussed about the expert systems, and you have given the assignment already. I have gone through it. It's okay. So, and we have also gone through the differences between DSS and expert system, right? Now, the types of output from decision support system include MIS, standard reports, and forecasts of sales. Of course, decision support systems output will be what? Some kind of forecasting or some kind of prediction about the sales. Okay, so then there is a term in research I hope you all know, that is hypothesis. Okay, what is hypothesis then? I think I am audible now. Yes.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. So hypothesis means you suppose assume something that this is going to be means what I can say conclusion, or this is the result that you are expecting. Okay, there are of course different kinds of hypotheses, but based on the each kind, assumption will be different. So hypothesis testing did sales decrease in the eastern region last month because of the changes in buying habits. This involves iterative questioning and with one answer leading to another question. Means what? First you have suppose that say due to this COVID, the online market, or we can say online shopping of this region, say eastern region or say Guwahati, that is decreasing because of the transportation problem or like that. But these things you can predict for this DSS. Okay, that is an example. Then with the help of this out a model, a model like creating a sales model and validating its behavior against the historical data in the warehouse. Predictive modeling is often used to forecast behaviors based on historical factors. Thus, in simple case, that you just predicted that because of the COVID situation, because of this transportation problem, the online shopping decreases in the region, in the Guwahati region, right? So, due to some problem, the decrease of the sales occurs. So these things, okay, these things you can utilize while developing your model, and of course in the near future it will be able to predict that if such situations occur, that sales will be decreased by this percentage. Okay, so for forecasting we use these things. Forecasting means to predict something. Similarly, discovery of unknown trends. For example, why are up in the eastern region? Okay, so इसके लिए पर आपको what you have to use some data mining technique. Okay, unknown trends. That unknown trends means what? From a big amount of data, you need to find out how or in which direction the trend, or that particular, if you are concerning about the sales, or if you are concerning about some other part, like in this example, sales is moving. Okay, these things you have to predict some classification algorithms. Okay, sometimes if you want to calculate the exact value, then you need to depend on some regression algorithm. So there we have to use some data mining tools. So if we talk about the architecture, so right now we're discussing last before lectures we were discussing about the data warehouse. So architecture, you have to know about its architecture. So data warehouse architecture is a method of defining the overall architecture of data communication, processing, and presentation that exists for end clients computing within the enterprise. ठीक है, तो सिंपल सेंटेंस मैं क्या बोल सकता हूँ कि ये आर्किटेक्चर आपको डिटरमाइन करेंगे कितना लेयर्स है, कैसे कम्युनिकेशन एस्टेब्लिश हो रहा है, कैसे डेटा आके डेटा वेयरहाउस में स्टोर हो रहा है. ठीक है, सो यहाँ we have three common architectures. Basic one, or you can say single tier. Then second one, data warehouse architecture with stacking area, that is two tier. And the third one, that is data warehouse architecture with stacking area and data merge. Okay, let's come to the basic one. The case of the basic one, you'll see that this is where the data is being stored. And these are the different sources from where we have collected the data. And these are the end users, or you can say those who are accessing this data and nothing else. So this is kind of basic. We are not using some extra feature here, right? This data is coming, you are storing here in the data warehouse, and some end users are accessing those data. That is known as data warehouse basic architecture, right? So operational systems means what? Here you will see there is a term operational system. This is a method used in data warehousing to refer to a system that is used to process the day-to-day transaction of an organization. In simple case में कोई भी system आप use करके जो day-to-day transaction हो रहा है उसका record आप क्या कर रहे हो data warehouse में store करने के लिए आप collect कर रहे हो, right? Then flat files. You will see that I have used the term flat files here. Flat files are nothing than the files that you use. A flat file system is a system of files in which transactional data is stored, and every file in the system must have a different name. ये तो आप जानते हो, आप कोई भी फाइल आप अपने सिस्टम में स्टोर करो तो एक ही नाम एक ही फोल्डर में दो फाइल का नहीं हो सकता है, ठीक है? The same name cannot be for two different files in the same folder. Okay. Then if we take an example of flat file model, then this particular one is a flat file model. Okay. So record 1, record 2, record 3, ठीक है? इस फाइल का एक नाम होगा, आपको दिखाई दे रहा है ये एक टेबल है, ठीक है? So let's compare between flat file and relational database. I hope you all know that what is relational database. Can I assume so?
Sir, can you repeat the question, please?
My question is that the relational database, I have just explained what is flat file model. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
what are the differences between flat file model and relational database?
Mm. Sir, in RDBMS, it is the data is stored in the form of rows and columns organized in a tabular format. Um and for every like record, for every file, there would be a database created.
Right. But see, you are correct regarding RDBMS, right? But you can see that in a flat file also we are storing the data in the form of rows and columns. And what's the difference? Of course, when the term relational database management system RDBMS comes, then the term that we use is relation. We focus where is relation, right? Aru ami janu, what we know that relation is nothing but our tables. So let's see the difference in detail. A definition to a difference to তোমালোক সবে ভালকে you please note on this difference, this because it's very important. Okay. So यहाँ आपको दिखाई दे रहा है इस साइड जो है फ्लैट फाइल डेटाबेस और इस साइड क्या है आपका रिलेशनल डेटाबेस. So फ्लैट फाइल डेटाबेस यहाँ सिर्फ एक ही टेबल, ए डेटाबेस consisting of a single table. ठीक है? इन फ्लैट फाइल डेटाबेस आपका सिर्फ एक टेबल रहेगा, ठीक है? बट रिलेशनल डेटाबेस में आप जितना चाहो उतना टेबल बना सकते हो, राइट? You have already created a lot of tables while doing your DBMS practicals using Oracle. So that is the first difference. A database consisting of a single table in case of flat file database, while in case of relational database, a database comprised of multiple entities. I think that I don't need to explain entity again because it's a very common term that we all have to know, right? Then in case of flat file database, it is represented using a data dictionary. ठीक है? डेटा डिक्शनरी हम यहाँ यूज करते हैं कहाँ पे? फ्लैट फाइल डेटाबेस में, ठीक है? और इसमें क्या होता है? सिर्फ फाइल्स, रिकॉर्ड्स, फाइल फील्ड्स एंड कैरेक्टर्स. आई होप यू नो डेटा डिक्शनरी में ये सारे चीज हैं. But in case of relational database, if you can recall that we have some ER diagram. याद आ रहा है सबको? बहुत पोजीशन है. Entity
Yes, sir.
relationship diagram, right? So
Yes.
that is ER diagram with respect to relational database, not with respect to flat file database. Remember it. Okay. क्योंकि अगर क्वेश्चन आ गया कि क्यों, बिकॉज आपने अभी देखा फ्लैट फाइल डेटाबेस में एक ही टेबल है. अब ईआर डायग्राम जो हम रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं रिलेशन किस डिफरेंट एंटिटी के बीच, राइट. यहाँ जब एक ही एंटिटी है तो किसके बीच हम रिलेशनशिप दिखाएंगे, राइट. सो फ्लैट फाइल डेटाबेस में क्या क्वेश्चन में काम लाइक दैट वेदर ईआर डायग्राम file database? No. Why? Because only single entity are available here. But in case of RDF DMS, we have ER diagram because we need to show the relationship among different entities, so represented using a schema such as an ER diagram. So it contains entity, attributes, relationship. और इन सब के लिए अलग अलग सिंबल्स था, आपको याद होगा, ठीक है. एट्रीब्यूट्स के लिए था और रिलेशनशिप के लिए हमने डायमंड सिंबल यूज किया था. So different symbols are there to represent this ER diagram. Then what are the advantages of flat file database? Flat file database का क्या advantages हैं? First one, it is simple to create, easy to use and inexpensive. आपने फाइल बना लिया, स्टोर कर दिया, बस आपको एक चीज ध्यान रखना है कि आपका नाम सेम नहीं होना सही है, राइट. बट यहाँ क्या एडवांटेजेस है? रिड्यूस डेटा रिडंडेंसी, कंसिस्टेंसी, शेयर्ड डेटा एंड सेंट्रलाइज्ड सिक्योरिटी. The complexity, of course, is high with respect to RDBMS. But what we get in return, we get that the data redundancy will be reduced. Okay, क्योंकि आपको पता हैगा कि आप हम यूज करते हैं नॉर्मलाइजेशन इन केस ऑफ RDBMS. सो the advantage is reduce data redundancy. ठीक है. अब मैं यहाँ आप लोगों को पूछने नहीं लगूंगा कि 5 नॉर्मल फॉर्म में क्या क्या ये होना सही है, BCNF क्या है, थर्ड नॉर्मल फॉर्म क्या होता है आपका, सेकेंड नॉर्मल फॉर्म, फर्स्ट नॉर्मल फॉर्म, राइट. So this thing I assume that you already know about this: first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, then BCNF, then fourth normal form, then fifth normal form, and these things. So this help us to reduce the data redundancy. Then if we talk about the disadvantage, of course, you have just seen that data redundancy can be removed with respect to relational database. But can it be possible this flat database? No, of course it's not possible. So it increases the data redundancy, and if data redundancy increases, you know, as a consequence, what will be increases? Inconsistency. Data inconsistency problem, I hope you all know. It usually occur when multiple transactions occurring, but actually because of the data, because you are not actually managing that multiple transaction, that's why this leads to data inconsistency. And disadvantage of this relational database is only one thing that we find, that is its complexity is high, time complexity. This take time should set up. So these are the differences between this flat file database and RDBMS, that is relational database. Now there is a term here, metadata, which I am not going to define now. Okay. But of course I can define, but I want or I expect an example from your side. Let me define this thing. Metadata is what? A set of data that defines and gives information about other data. And we use metadata in data warehouse. Why? Because it summarizes necessary information about data that can make finding and work with particular instances of data more accessible. Okay. Author, data build, and data science and file search, these things are example of basic metadata. ठीक है. तो metadata क्या है? वो data, that set of data which defines and give information about some other data. तो आज का आपका assignment जो है वो है कि you will find an example of metadata that we frequently use in case of research study. ठीक है. So today's assignment is that you will find an example of metadata that we use in the case of what? Our research study. So do it and please send it to me. Thank you.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can I give an example of metadata? What I'm thinking, very small example. Can you please help me out if I'm correct or not about metadata? This what I'm thinking.
Yes, at the cost of that, you cannot give the same example again in the assignment.
Yes, definitely, sir.
Okay, sure, then you can give.
Okay, sir. So if this is clear, then I will be able to populate more examples, sir.
Yes.
If this concept, whatever I will be saying, sir. Supposingly, I have an aloo gudam.
Okay. Yes.
Not
Yes.
an aloo gudam. N number of aloo gudams,
Yeah,
sir.
okay.
Okay, so there are many places where I have the aloo gudam. Let's say in Rajasthan, in Assam, in Bihar, in Kolkata, West Bengal. I have many places. In many places, I have my aloo gudam. But
Okay.
I'm managing all my aloo gudam from Assam, Jorhat.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir. So, in order to manage, I have maintained a record or maintain a file where I have written that in this aloo gudam, in this location, this quantity of aloo is there. This many quantity of aloo is there. Okay. So
Okay.
all this I am keeping a record of. And in every aloo gudam, there is one more record which will help me to identify that in which wing of that particular building, how many quantity of potato is there. So
Okay.
from the record that I'm keeping, that is being linked to the record that is there in the every individual potato warehouses, which will help me to identify that in which wing how many quantity of potato is there.
Okay. Okay. I got
So,
it.
sir, is this a valid example, sir?
Very good example, of course, I can say, because this particular information will give you idea about the amount, quantity, and location. Okay, and of course you can say the type, because in case of aloo we have different
Many types, sir.
many
Many
types
types.
are there. Okay, someone from Agra, someone from Assam itself, some West Bengal. Okay, so based on that we can store information about that aloo or about that potatoes. Okay, so this basically means you are keeping this file. Why? Because this gives us information about some other files. We can think, we can relate this like that. So that's because this is a metadata. A very good example from Prabhat side, but I expect one example, one different example from you in the assignment. Okay, and that will be from your computer science. Okay, but this is a very good example, of course. Okay.
Sir,
This
there
is
is one question.
Yes. Prabhat. Well, who is asking? Prabhat or Mainul?
Prabhat, you may go ahead.
Hello.
no, I
Am I
Okay.
audible?
Hello.
Yes,
Am I
yes.
audible, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sir, I wanted to just clarify one doubt. Is this
Hmm.
metadata is something almost similar to a relational database where the different data are connected by using a primary key?
Just a few moments before, I have illustrated relational data, and I have
Hmm.
illustrated that flat data. Okay, there I also discussed the you can say differences between it. This metadata is a concept. Okay, basically you can consider this is a concept where actually information, as I hope you know about hyperlink. You can
Yes,
relate
sir.
this back to hyperlink, because if you click this,
Oh,
then this is lead to some other thing. But here, this set of data actually collecting information of some another set of data. What you are talking about is the tables, and you need to connect
yes.
these tables. So suppose that referential integrity, okay, or some primary keys you may use.
Hmm.
That's okay. But basically, if you stick to metadata, then you have different types of metadata itself that I have kept as an or I have left as an assignment for you. You will go through the metadata in very clear or precise way, because this information is very, very required while performing your research. That's why I'm asking. So while
Okay.
performing your research study, how you will relate this fact? Okay, different types of metadata, because where you are going to deal with is nothing but metadata. Either your research is on the area of your cloud or our IoT or our computer visions. So everywhere you will use that. So I want a very precise example with respect to that. That should be your own analytical thinking. So let me say that what you will catch with that. Okay. So
Okay.
okay, that's all. Thank you. Please do that. Okay, send it to me. Is it okay, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll go through the assignment, and I'll let you know that how much you have catch. Okay, bye-bye. Good day.